So today on Life Tools for Men, we're going to be talking about growing up. You should do it. Let's talk. Okay, so grow up, right? That's what we're talking about today. Grow up. All you guys watching out there, all the men listening, grow up. I could really just stop right there, right? Because as soon as I say grow up, you think about the thing that you need to grow up in, right? Like, you're doing this one specific thing that is what a child does, and you don't need to be doing it anymore, right? Most of you guys are in your mid-20s, up in your 30s. If you're younger, awesome. Please take these messages as warnings of what could happen, but you need to grow up, right? How many of you guys are up till 2 o'clock in the morning playing video games? And I'm not saying there's anything specifically wrong with playing video games, but if you're playing video games at the expense of your job, at the expense of your spouse, okay, or at the expense of your other relationships, what are you doing? You need to grow up. That's what kids do, right? You're not 17 anymore. You can't stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning playing Super Smash Bros. On GameCube. You just can't. Like, you have responsibilities. You have a wife or a girlfriend that needs emotional connection. You have a job that demands you to be awake and alert for. Like, you have stuff to do. You need to grow up. Right? What about hanging out with your friends until, 4 nights out of the week? 4 nights? Really? You need to go watch football with the guys 4 different times in a week or whatever you're doing. You go play pool and you go sit at a bar? What? You grow up. Do something in your life. Do something productive with that time. I'm not saying go to the bar a couple of times a week or once a week. I understand that. I like bars, okay? I love alcohol. It's delicious. But you can't go acting like a child and expect to equal an adult. Right? Does that make sense? You can't live like a child and expect to have the privileges of an adult. That makes more sense. And these are all different for everyone, right? Your version of growing up, the areas that you need to grow up in and the areas I need to grow up in are very different. There's areas I need to grow up in. I'm like 100 pounds overweight, right? I need to grow up. I need to stop eating pizza and ice cream for every other meal. And I don't do that anymore. Past month has been really good. I've been trying to lose weight. So I'm trying to grow up in that area. But that's part of it. I'm a man. I'm taking hold of this thing. Life's not, I'm not a slave to life. I'm telling life what I want. And I don't want to be 100 pounds overweight. I want to be healthy. I want to live a long time. I'm going to spend a lot of time with my wife. I love her a lot. I want to have a sexy body. That's what I want. That's what I'm going to get. Those are grown-up thoughts. Grown-ups look at situations like, okay, how can I make this work in my favor? And I'm going to make it happen. Kids go, oh, this is too much. I can't do anything about it. Or just don't even think about it and life happens to them. Okay, you're not a kid. You're not a teenager anymore. You're a man. You're a grown man. And maybe someone's never told you that. I'm telling you that right now. If you're over the age of 18, you're a man. Regardless of whether you feel like it or not, you're a man. And there's certain things that men need to do. Okay? You're a provider. You're a protector. Right? You need to make sure you're doing those things. How's your protecting going? Are you protecting your wife? Are you protecting your kids? Protecting your girlfriend? And by protect, I mean, I'm not saying did you block someone's knife stab at her last week or something like that? Did you jump in front of a gun for her? Not those things don't happen very often. I'd hope you do that if the moment arises. But are you protecting your heart? Has your wife or girlfriend been asking you to talk about things for months, years, and you just refuse? You still want to go hang out with the guys? You're not protecting her. You're protecting yourself. Or just being a kid, not even paying attention. Are you protecting your wife's needs? What about your kids' needs? They need a dad. They need someone to love them and protect them and be around them. Are you around? Those are good areas to grow up in. Right? And so whatever it is, If it's health, if it's emotional stuff, right? Emotional health, it's super important. I think men need to focus on emotional health. There's tons of men out there acting like little kids, and it's stupid. Emotional health, but physical health, you know what I mean? Like where you at? When I said health beginning, I was meaning, like eating wise, but are you working out? You doing anything that's like worthwhile? Do you just sit at your desk all day, then come home and sit and watch TV on the couch? Because that kind of sucks. That doesn't sound like much of a life. I'm sorry if that offends anyone. I'm sorry that I'm not sorry is what I meant to say. Quit just sitting around letting life go by. Grow up. Go do something. Grab life with the balls and let's do something. Men are meant to be adventurous, right? When's the last time you had an adventure? Maybe you need to grow up in that. Maybe you spent too long letting, your decided course in life determine what you do, right? If you have to put in 50, 60 hours a week at your job, hey, maybe it's time to grow up in that and say, screw you, job. I'm not letting you have that much time of my time. I've got a family to love. I've got my own self to love. That's unsustainable. You understand that, right? 50, 60 hours a week. You can't do that. You cannot do that consistently and have an amazing marriage and have a healthy life. You'll hate yourself. You're going to be 50, 60 years old, time to retire, and you're just going to be a puddle of mud that, can't do anything because they haven't paid attention to their own emotional needs for the past 40 years. Don't do that. Don't be that. Assess your life and say, okay, what do I need and how do I need to do it? That's what grown-ups do. And you guys understand, being grown up has nothing to do with age, right? Nothing. There's a lot of 80-year-old kids out there. And some of that's okay. But if you spent your whole life living like a child and you really just never amounted to anything, that really sucks. I don't want that life for me, and I definitely don't want that life for you. So grow up. Look at your life. Write it down. Bust out the piece of paper again and go, okay, what are some areas that I feel like I'm failing in that I need to grow up in? Write them out and then start going after them. Okay? Because that's what grown-ups do. So, like always, if you guys want to talk, I'm available. Go to talktowes.com, set up an appointment. We can do a one-on-one session and just kind of go through anything that's holding you back, all kinds of good stuff. So do that. It's not free. So just if anybody's thinking that it is not free, you will pay me for that service. But go on there, check it out. You can kind of see exactly what the process is and stuff like that. It's real easy. We do it simply on the computer and stuff like that. Fun stuff. Okay. There's good stuff to be talked about. So let's talk. See you soon.